So when you're ready.
Cheers, pal.
Are we going?
Yeah.
Boxed Off Pod, episode number 5. And today we've got... How are you? You alright? Cameron. Cameron.
I'm good. Are you going to make me feel a bit at ease or what?
Get a drink down you, mate.
I know, yeah. Get fucking bladdered on camera.
Yeah, get a little bit of swigging.
JD.
Bit of honey JD.
JD.
The gold drink, by the way, honey JD. The number 1 drink.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nice, I'll drink it, but I don't know if it's the gold.
What's your favourite alcoholic drink? We're not pissheads, by the way.
Well, I might.
Disaronno, probably.
It's a liqueur, though.
Disaronno and Coke.
Yeah,
bad.
It's liqueur, innit?
That has to be.
I like Disaronno, innit? But
Nah, to be fair, I like a... I was about to say JD then. Right, that's JD. That's only JD.
well, yeah, it's the nicest one.
What else is there? I don't like gin.
You don't like gin?
I hate gin. It gives me the worst hangovers in the world.
Passion fruit gin.
Strawberry beefeater gin, yeah.
Beefeater gin?
It's got a place in my heart, that.
I had the worst hangover ever known to man off passion fruit gins. I was swinging them like they were J2Os in the pub down the road.
Oh right,
Mate,
yeah.
I must have had about 12 of them, drinking them like the juice.
Jesus.
And I swear down the next day, mate, it was the worst hangover I've ever had ever. I wanted to die.
Gives you headaches, doesn't it?
Oh,
Gin.
Yeah,
next
I've had
level.
some bad nights on that gin. Woke up in one of my, well, not even one of my mates' fucking spare rooms. Woke up, just boxers on. Walked into the next room, Con's there, he's like, fucking hell, where have you been? I fucking don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know what day it is. It's like no boxes. That's class, that's class.
But how have you been, Cam? Like, it's been... We've seen each other a little bit recently,
Yeah.
but like, it's been a while, like, we've actually had a proper catch-up, so, like, how are you doing, like...
Yeah, I'm good. Working from home, like fucking everyone else is really. Focusing on my music. That's about it really. Obviously going out, see my mates from time to time. Obviously you've got to do that like when we're in lockdown and stuff. Even though they're saying like obviously stick to your houses. I can't really do that, but yeah, it's been good. Making music every day, just trying to fucking grind at it really.
Talk to us a bit more about that, a bit more in detail. So, like, what kind of music do you make, and how long have you been doing it for? And
so I'm sort of like a deep house sort of guy, or like a minimal sort of vibe. That's what I go for anyway. Well, I've only just like started releasing, haven't I? So like,
for the people, sorry to interrupt you, for the people like me, yeah, that aren't really clued up on DJing and all that kind of things, I only know the kind of music from just going to like an event or whatever. What is minimal music? Like, what does it consist of? What does it sound like? What would you compare it to sound wise?
Well, it's got a lot of groove to it. I'd say some like the music's not like directly in your face, if that makes sense. So there's like a lot of like tech house and stuff like that, where it's like Jamie Jones and stuff, where it's like, you know, where it's just like absolute bangers and straight in your face. It's a bit more, well, I wouldn't say chill, because it's still got like a lot of like groove to it and like
minimal,
nice,
that's
if it says minimal, like you can, that's like
more easy going, more easy on the ear.
And the sounds are a bit more weirder, and there's a bit more like going on in like the backgrounds, a lot of drums and stuff like that. So
I get that.
Yeah.
How do you find making music in lockdown?
I love it. That, do you know what? It's actually been like one of the, obviously for lockdown for a lot of people, it's like it's not been the best for them, but like lockdown's a bit of a godsend for me.
Yeah.
Because like usually I'm fucking out all the time, fucking going down to the pub and stuff like that, and like this lockdown has actually like made me knuckle down a bit more with my music, which has been good for me really. Like
you say, that's the thing, innit? You got time to yourself, especially.
100%.
You can focus on your own sound, and you've got your own space to do whatever. So
yeah,
I say some people might like it, but some people like yourself and get most of it, like that.
I mean, obviously there is bad things to lockdown, like everyone says. Like obviously you can't really see your mates, you're not going out as much like that. But I think like for me, it's gave me a bit of like a kick up the arse, because I was on furlough last year for like fucking 5-6 months. But in that time I weren't really making music either. I was just fucking playing on COD all day, playing Warzone.
That's the rest of the day,
being a nerd, man. But yeah, I think this one that's just comes definitely good for me, and a bit of a kick up the arse. I don't know how it's been for you too, but
I mean,
yeah, so it's been alright, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just easy going, innit? I mean, like I say, just stuck at home, working from home all the time. I work from home anyway, so I weren't really that fussed, like, but then it's just like I miss the social side of work in it. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, you can't go in anywhere, so it's just
it's bad.
it's sitting about doing it. But we're on the mend. Hopefully soon, a couple of months, we'll be safe again.
I've booked work off me on the Monday.
Yeah, I'll
straight to the pub, straight to the booze.
I'll book the week off and the Monday after. Like, no way, man.
Has to be done.
Yeah, I need to do that. I need to get that sorted. To be fair.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%.
We had an email come through at work the other day, basically saying that we can't take the piss of our holidays because we are such a small team and everyone's so depended on. Like we get more than one person can't like be off at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I just need to get mine in ASAP.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah,
just
it has to be done. That's very similar to my team, that, because I mean there's only like 6 of us in Manchester. I mean Ash is one of them, fucking dickhead. But yeah, so you need to like obviously get them in early, and that's what I've been doing. I was thinking about doing it for June as well, though.
Yeah, that's what I've done. I've done 21st of June. That's the week I've done. From when we're meant to be free, I've booked that week off and the Monday afterwards. And I'm thinking, I'm just going to be carnage in it. I've also, what's it called? Like with my work, you've got to book so many holidays by a certain date now. Because so everyone doesn't just fucking save them all and do them at the end.
Now you've got to do it, because the thing is, like with holidays and things like that, I swear, if you don't take your holidays, like people go to the boss going, oh yeah, I've not took my holidays, I'm entitled to my holiday pay and all that, and it don't. It's pretty naughty, really. You shouldn't really be trying to finesse your work. You know what I mean, you should take the holidays, even though we're doing nothing. It is good to take your holidays.
I think at mine they carry them over, but now because of COVID, they're not doing it. I don't think.
Wait, so they're not doing it?
Nah, they usually do, but because of that, like, because you can't go anywhere, people aren't booking holidays, so they just have them all saved up and they go, oh, I'll use them next year. And like, you can't do that now. So that's why we have to take them by a certain date. So I've got to take like a week, like before March or something like that, end of March. So.
It's not too bad though.
Yeah, I know it is. It's minor, really, isn't it? Like, they're getting a bit of time off, so you just got to stage it out, I guess, which isn't the worst. You're not doing that anyway.
Yeah, is what it is, though, I guess. But anyway, I think one thing that I mentioned to you two briefly, that I did want to speak about. Octavian has just dropped some new music, yeah. For people that don't know, Octavian was recently accused. We need to be very careful how we speak about this.
Yeah, very, very.
So allegedly, Octavian was involved in a physical relationship with his ex-girlfriend and was accused of allegedly beating her up and being not a very nice person to her, do you know what I mean? And she's gone out the day before his album was supposed to drop, exposed him to the police, filed for a restraining order, all those things. And he got dropped by Black Butter Records, his record label. He then he got dropped by Vivienne West. No, not Vivienne West. Louis Vuitton. And all those majors and all of his big commitments completely cut ties with him overnight. And I was very lucky to have been able to hear his album beforehand, because I was in the fortunate position of the job that I have. I was sent the link early, and it was genuinely sick. Like, his album was amazing.
It's bound to be though, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he's Octavian is I think he's like pretty unique in his own way, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, very much so. And I know I heard the album, a bit of it as well. I remember there was a link on SoundCloud for it, and I liked the album. And now all the tracks of it have been deleted except one that's still on there, which I can still listen to. I can't remember which one it is now, but yeah, it was a pretty sick album as well. So
yeah,
a bit of a kick in the teeth in it. But
so now he has set up his own record label called Sex AM Records under his own name, Ezzy Gang and all that. He's just dropped his first single on there. Well, no, he dropped one where he sampled that Time After Time tune, but I don't think he got clearance for it, so I think it's just sat on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then he did that other one. What's it called? Just come out, something like Make It Better Again, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Very good tune.
Yeah, big tune.
It's a very good tune.
Very, very catchy.
Knowing what he's been accused of and the circumstances he was allegedly involved in, does it shine him on a different light? Does it make you not want to enjoy his music as much? Because me personally, I was his biggest fan beforehand, and when it all came out, I was gutted, and it did make me see him in a different light. But afterwards, I listened to the tunes, and at the end of the day, music's music. And it's very good fucking music, do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, where do you stand on that kind of stuff? Cancel culture especially, like, has he been cancelled? Do you still like him? What is it?
I think he has been cancelled at the moment, and obviously his labels and that have dropped him. But he's doing his own thing at the moment. it's a tough one, isn't it? Because obviously with everything he's going through at the moment, like, you can't really. There's not really much to say on that matter with him because it's all up in the air, isn't it? Like, even with getting a new record label or putting out new music, there's always going to be people now that see him in that light, like that negative light. Like
I think if he does anything, I think it'll probably be all for himself now, so he'll be having to drive it all himself, because I can't really see any record labels or anything at the minute taking smoke, it's so hot.
Yeah. It's a touchy subject, isn't it? Like, no one wants to dip the toes in it, you know what I mean?
But it's like, where does it lie though? Like, with things like that, and why the music industry is at that level, where there's millions of pounds involved, and there's a lot of money involved and all that, like, where do the morals lie, because, again, very careful how we speak about it. It's old news now and everyone probably knows about it, but obviously, not too long after the story surfaced about Octavian, one surfaced about Dutch Belly, and this is one where we have to be extremely careful on. We don't want to speak too much, but what he was involved in, or allegedly involved in, was 10 times worse than the things that Octavian was accused of. So how come he's not been?
I think it's because some of the videos are what got put up of Octavian were pretty deep.
Like what he actually said on camera.
So it
don't look good.
No, it doesn't. It don't look good for you at all.
There's literally evidence there.
And the thing is, he is a bit of a prick.
Well, trust me, we know first hand.
Well, the thing is though, I've met him twice. Octavian. I've met Octavian twice. Me and production staff.
Circle Local?
Me and production staff Peg met him in Barcelona. It was actually mad, pissed up saying I'm going to go backstage and meet Octavian. Ended up jimming back there, got a picture of him and he was actually well sound. But then me and you went to an event at me in town, and we saw him and he was an absolute arsehole. So I think it just depends when you...
What was he like?
No, he just ran off because he wanted to go shag his bird.
That same girl that accused him, it was that Scottish girl,
you can shag your bird, mate. Like, but not inside it. It's just, you could have said hi and that.
Could have at least shook our hand, you know what I mean, and been polite like a normal person would. But
why did he just fully?
He was getting off, I think, weren't he? And he was like, nah, I don't know you, man.
We was literally just like, oh mate, I was like, can at least just like shake your hand like hello. I can just say hello in it. Like I'm not asking for much. Like at these point, like it was like. We don't even want a picture at this point. Just don't be a dick. Just, do you know what I mean?
He just shook his hand, and
that was it.
It's always sometimes fame and stuff can get to people. So what do you rate you'd be like? I always think of that situation. Like, what would you be like if you was famous?
Well, I always think, and I don't know if you would be the same. Like me right now, if I was famous, I'd be like, just fucking give back and get on the mates on board with it. But imagine every day you being like watched or people screaming at you or something like that. It changes mindset.
The thing is with fame and fortune, especially like with us, because we know and are friends with a lot of people. We all have our closest friends, but on like a broader scale, like we are good friends with a lot of people. It's like when you become so famous, example, or so much money comes involved, there comes a point where you will have to cut people off that you might not necessarily want to.
Definitely.
I think that's just what comes with it. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you, mate. I agree. Like,
I don't know if I think I would love it, but at the same time, I think the novelty would quickly wear off.
I think that's the thing, innit? If you do blow or something like that, and then there's people fucking after you asking for favours and shit, like now you're up and stuff, it gets...
I don't know though, if you're doing what you love all the time, though, I feel like I'd just be on a buzz all the time.
See, that's what I think, innit? But surely, like, for example, someone like Octavian there will love what he's doing, innit? And then that's happening, but it's each to their own, innit?
But then again, Huncho, there is it.
Apparently he's really fucking sound.
No, he is. I've met him twice again. Me and production staff Peg met.
I've been everywhere.
We've been everywhere.
Proud to get from that.
But and he actually invited us into his backstage trailer, and we literally had a conversation for like 15-20 minutes while he was having a smoke, and he was actually well sound.
Did he have his mask on?
But how that surfaced though, me and him were at an event the night before, a Spotify event, and we saw him and was chatting to him, and he was well sound, wasn't he? And then was like, he was like, can we get a pic or whatever? He was like, to be fair, I've got to run on stage. Anyway, he's like, I'll find you after my show. I was like, yeah, cool, don't worry about it. He's done one, and he's had to fuck off somewhere else. The next day, me and Peg are walking through this other event at a warehouse in town. Sees him, he's like, he was like, yo, we didn't get that picture, like, blah blah blah. Like,
Remembered you straight away. That's good.
Yeah, it was sick.
Fair play. Did someone come in a helicopter that day?
It was M.
Was it M. Huncho?
Was it D-Block Europe or something like that?
They were leaving.
It was M. Huncho, and he had to get a helicopter to D-Block Europe shot in London.
Life of the famous, mate. Funny.
Yeah, man, but that was snide how someone outed him.
Yeah, with a mask.
Yeah, one of his friends deliberately, friends.
One of Dutch's mates. Because it was Dutch there, weren't he, in that thing, and he was like videoing him like that.
Well, yeah.
Pete that
is snide.
And then you seen that thing.
That's his whole
like,
brand as well.
Yeah, he was like, I just don't want to be involved in anything, I don't want the media and that.
Which is understandable, to be fair, because if you're walking about the street and stuff and no one knows who you are because you've got your mask on, which is, must get, well, obviously you've not got it on when you're walking about the street.
You know what I mean? We're having a shower and that.
Don't take it off.
Going out doing your mask.
Must be fucking
going out and stuff for a Sunday roast.
Bet he ain't got COVID. Like, stay on all the time.
M. Huncho's ahead of the times, mate.
Must be annoying that though. I mean, I get fucking annoyed wearing one of those masks and you think,
mate, I hate them masks, mate. They make me feel claustrophobic.
I couldn't imagine working with a mask on all day.
Mate, who was it with? Was it with you? Or was it with you? When I was in Selfridges buying that t-shirt, and then I said to that girl, I was like, who had the mask on, I was like, mate, how does it feel like? Can't you not wait to take your mask off? She's like, yeah, I've done like an 8-hour shift and I've not been able to take my mask off. I was like, oh, what I feel for you. Like, that's horrible.
Defo just grafted you.
Yeah,
I know what he's like.
Why do you think you chatted to her? Oh yeah, are you okay in that mask?
What she did,
oh yeah.
Nah, do you not? Yeah,
take it off for you. Put it on.
Yeah, but with that being said though, do you not think that like nowadays, like obviously in today, the world that we live in these days, if you see a girl that is really attractive from the nose up, you might be a bit wary to actually approach her because she might actually be mingling with them.
Just take your mask off first.
But if you got to, imagine if you got talking to someone, and she had like the most amazing eyes on the train or whatever, but she had a mask on, and you got home, text her or follow her Instagram, and you look at her finger and you're like, oh my god, like the bottom half of your face needs changing. Do you know what I mean?
Keep your mask on.
Yeah, trust.
That's bangers up.
It's proper sound, isn't it?
He was asking, he was saying, what would you take your mask off? Like, yeah. I bet birds are minging when I take your mask off.
Put it back on straight away. No, I mean in the nicest way possible.
Yeah,
but of course, mate, cool.
Yeah, anyway, what's new? Like, obviously this is your first experience, like,
first experience on the pod, in front of the camera. They hope I don't look butters, but...
Mate, well, did you not see last week's episode when we looked like bloody...
Bro, you see our trims last week? I mean, even now I did it longer on top, like, but... Bro, I can't, I'm not doing another episode, man.
Yeah, it was actually 4 weeks deep.
Buckwheat over
4 weeks deep. It's horrible.
Bro, I look like a meatball dropped on the floor and booted.
Why do you think I'm wearing this cap?
Mate,
it's absolute fucking unreasons.
Mate, did you see that video of the argument of a Domino's worker in London, and he drops this girl's pizza on the floor, and it falls out the box onto the pizza falls on the floor. Yeah. He picks up the fucking pizza, puts it back in the box, and then this woman's like, he goes to deliver it, and this woman's like, you don't put that fucking pizza in that fucking box, you fucking cockneys anything, And then basically it's just videoing this argument, but there's two sides to it. It's like, who's in the wrong gear? Obviously this guy dropped this pizza, so you need to take it back, but she's going in on him like, because you can't get a fucking proper job, you fucking dick. And he's going, you can't say, you don't know what I've been through, like, it's like, I'll fucking work hard at my job and all that, like, it's bangers, innit?
I hate stuff like that, you know, like when people are just like making a living, do you know what I mean, and just doing their own job, and people are just taking the piss. Say like you worked at Mackey's or anything like that, and they just take the piss. I'm not a fan of stuff like that at all.
I seen something like that, but I didn't see the Domino's one. I seen a Deliveroo driver like at the bottom, like, and he's
that's
like,
a fucking
like,
joke.
please come and get your food. And the woman's like, no, you've got to bring it up for me.
I see that.
And he's like, no, please just come down and collect your food.
That's scranning it.
Yeah. Pulling away.
No man, it's just
mate, I'm not being funny, but that would it probably would happen up here, but I swear down, people down south are so much more rude than they are up here.
Just go down and get your food, innit?
Just go out to the fucking door.
Why would you not be gassed for your food to arrive? Why would you be ready to go down and get it? Not like, you've got to bring it up here. Fucking shit. Just scan it as well. You know what I mean?
The North just better, innit? Nobody, not going against the South route, but
we are better than the South.
Just the
sorry, Webs.
I mean, for the very small audience we've got down south, innit?
Northern living, mate, so it is.
Yeah, but I was saying that before. on a call I was on before with an interview I was doing before, I was basically speaking to this guy's manager, talking about the difference between Manchester and London, and I was like, there's no way on earth. I mean, I would move down south if like a dream job came up or whatever. Yeah. Like I would do it, but I wouldn't choose to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I would only do it if it was something very, very promising.
My oldest brother lives in London, but I couldn't imagine moving down there. Like I like Manny. I wouldn't leave Manchester, mate. I don't think.
I'm a big fan of Manchester.
Yeah. Would you not move abroad?
Nah, I mean if I had bare dough, then I might move abroad.
That's what I mean. I feel like when people go to Australia and that doesn't really. Like I don't fancy something like that. Me going to Australia, like I like my holidays and stuff like that, but my home is my home. Do you know what I mean? Therefore, 100%. And like this, like London, that it's always 100% just like active all the time.
London's like the place. It's money there. Like London defines money. Everyone in London is a go-getter. Everyone's trying to secure that.
It's just
bag
always 100% in it. Just like
100 miles an hour. Everyone's always doing something.
And the gaffs, like prices wise, say like if you wanted a gaff down there compared to up here.
Wedge.
Mate, if you're looking at like £1 million for a house in central London, whereas you could probably get an apartment, a fresh apartment in Manchester, for probably £250,000, like a sick apartment in town, probably looking at £250,000, whereas you're looking at a shit old gaff in London for £1 million.
Yeah, but no, you're an estate agent.
All right, people.
Suit on, pen and full.
Not coming on again, you.
Nah, born London, born living down there. Staying up here.
Sorry, get fucking liquored on this, mate.
But anyway, what do you want to talk about? Have you got anything interesting that you've written down on your before?
Yeah, both a little bit.
You should have done your own work more.
Well, I just wanted to go into it and fucking go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow now.
I want to go back to the thing with Octavian though. Sorry, bringing it back to that.
Yeah, do it. Feel free. This is the old flow man's bringing it back.
What does it take for someone to get completely cancelled? Because I know like
these days.
I know that's what I mean. Like there's been sort of like in my not my industry, but in like the rave scene, there's been a few DJs in the past where they've had a lot against them and they've sort of like come back from it. Do you know what I mean?
Now once, mate, I had a situation, right? I put an article out on, I'm not going to say for who, but I had an article published, right? And someone read it saying that I don't have the right to be talking about black music, black culture music because I'm white.
Oh yeah,
do you remember that? She was like, you don't have a fucking right to be talking. You don't have a right to be talking about this. You don't have a right to be talking about black history and black culture music when you're white. And when you look at your Twitter header, you and all your white friends there, blah 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 blah. I'm thinking, and she's
like racist.
That is racist, yeah. But you don't have the right to do X, Y, and Z, yeah, because you're white and your friends are white. You can't talk about our history and our culture and all that. And that was literally for putting out an article, yeah.
For one, it's your job.
For one, it's my job, yeah. I know what I'm doing, yeah. I know what I'm talking about, for one. And B, is like, number two. Two, is like, that one woman saw her ass so mad over something that wasn't even remotely offensive or incorrect or inaccurate or anything, just because of the way that I look. I wasn't allowed to talk about a certain thing. Yeah. So
when was that? How far was you into your job when you did that?
Probably about 12 months in.
Oh yeah, so you was quite deep into
probably about 12
first month feeling like shit.
I'm sorry. But it was like
some bird out in him on Twitter.
So it's like obviously that is obviously the most minuscule scale.
Yeah.
But like obviously there's people who've had it a million times worse than that. But I'm saying like someone wanted me cancelled because of something that wasn't even.
And it weren't really in your power as well. Imagine if you said to them, nah, sorry mate, I'm not fucking right about that. You know what I mean?
I reckon, going back to what you said about cancelling like culture. Like we live in a generation nowadays where people are as touchy as anything. Like if anything happens, like there's always going to be a reaction to no matter what it is. Like there's always someone.
It's literally anything really.
That's what I mean. There's always going to be someone who's got an issue with what you're doing. So even more so now, especially with social media, it's like it's emphasised so much more in it. Anything you do, any move that you make, no matter who you are, can be seen as just as bad in any different light. So cancel culture now, something like that can be like Octavian, like even like Dutch and all the all.
What's happening with
repercussions. Well, it's been brushed under the carpet, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think the lady or the people involved have said it's fine. I think so. I'm not political over it, so I'm not going to speak on that. Allegedly. So, but it's all news for that now, and he's just carrying on. But
I mean, some like. Obviously with this cancel culture and all stuff like that, does it ever get you like worried for like saying stuff yourself and like actually voicing your opinions properly?
I think, yeah. But no.
I mean, it's not like, especially on here, it's not like I'm going to say anything mad anyway.
No, because there's not really any views that are...
That's what I mean, it's not like we're as main in the public light as other people, but still, we wouldn't say anything
it don't matter.
stupid, do you know what I mean?
It don't matter.
One person could see this and be like, oh, you said something, and then said something, and then one thing leads to another, and then it's chaos, isn't it? So.
Yeah. I think.
Are you scared for like saying bold statements though, trying to be out there and actually?
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
I think we're lucky that we live. I think we are lucky. The kind of people that we are. I think we are very. We're sensible. We're not dickheads. We're not thick for one. Yeah. We think about more. I don't know about that. To a certain extent.
Peg's got about 2 GCSEs.
To be
fair, bro, I don't even know. I just fucking. He's the first person I looked at. Sorry, bro.
I've got a B-Tech name.
But anyway, what is it? So I think we're not 9 times out of 10. I think we will more time try and think about what we say before we say it. For one, I think it helps that both myself and our editor Cam as well. I've got qualifications in media law.
Right,
yeah.
So,
media law.
I got a B-Tech sport, mate. I'll set you up a PE session. I'll tell you some languages.
Yeah, that's what we're going to bring some cones, we're going to put them on the fucking carpet there.
I've got some women, got some mates.
No, I think it's a bit of a blast from the past for me doing this as well, obviously with my journalism and stuff. That's a bit of a... Is it nostalgia?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You're a journalist and you're asking what word it is.
It is nostalgia.
I'm not a wordy guy.
Not to a... classic word. There's not a
wordy guy.
Yeah, that's why I failed. Nah, I didn't fail.
But A stars, mate.
I forgot my point now.
You can't get A stars in fucking...
A star at uni tech. You have to say it again.
That shows the B-Tech coming
out. Now at uni, mate. Couldn't even spell it, mate. Right, talk about something else now. Fuck me.
What do you want to talk about?
Stop belittling my education.
Well, you told us to belittling your education. Well, what about the album that we listened to?
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah. LD
6-7.
Who's watching? Is what it's called. The album.
Yeah, mate. I listened to it today. Yeah, I think it's absolutely bad.
Yeah, it is sick.
It's sick.
I listened to it twice actually.
I'm not a big drill guy, me. But I think LD for drill is mint.
Yeah,
I really
there's a lot of like artists like that though who are like the forefront. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of drill music.
Because I'm not really like, I don't listen to a lot of drill, but there's certain artists that I listen to that are like my go-tos from drill. Like
some of the biggest artists that we listen to are drill. So like Unknown T, is drill in it originally.
There's a select like
loads.
Could you say Heady One was?
Yeah, 100%.
Drill.
Heady One. Millions is drill. We didn't say that one time on that episode about Birmingham rappers.
Oh shit, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
If you remember that, we know who Millions is.
Yeah, Digga D.
So
he just brought a new
track.
I listened to that now. He's got a project out now. You know, I didn't even fucking realise.
What? That's like an album?
Yeah, it's like 12 tracks. I swear.
Fuck up, is he actually?
I swear down.
Come out today?
Don't know if it came out today.
I don't know if it come out today. But I know.
It's called.
Is it called?
It's literally the last thing I listened to.
Made in the Barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, come. Oh, not come out. Oh wait, nah. Yeah, it's out, mate.
Yeah, it's all right.
13 tracks.
Yeah,
it's getting added to my.
But I think for me, I think there's a select because with drill, I think drill it's so easy to sound the same.
Yeah. It's all very similar.
Like JLS, do you know what I mean?
Did you actually see what happened with that?
Did they get out?
So it was put on. I think it was let's say Apple Music or Spotify. They put it on, and someone else under JLS, their track got loaded, and it was like an actual track from some other artists.
And they're actually called JLS?
Yeah, no, they're not called JLS. I swear they're like, it's like two other guys, and it just got released under JLS for some reason.
Was it just
and
like
the
a
track's
hit?
pretty hard, you know. Like, it's actually pretty good, and I seen an article on it, and I was like, shit, yeah.
Which, when I first listened to it, I was like, I swear one of these is on CBB.
It's like chefing my dog. Oh, it's funny that. Oh, yeah.
No, but there's a few like that Fredo, but he's an American guy, isn't he? There's tracks coming out where it's just fucking all over.
Well, I think drill, Chicago drill is what started first, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was before UK, and then it came over to UK. Now we've got our own influence on it now, and like UK drill is like at the forefront, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Like look at Abracadabra, who was like starting drill as well, like doing mad shit, and I look at him doing
love songs and
that. Yeah, that's what I mean. He dropped that EP. We talked about it the other day, didn't we? He dropped that EP.
There's a few. Like for me, it's like there's LD. I think to be fair, I think instead of just actually singling out LD, I think you just 6-7 as a whole.
Yeah,
6-7.
You get
are the founders in this thing. Yeah, for
even Dutch, Frosty. All,
was 6-7 not before Dutch? I swear 6.
Yeah,
quite a while.
I think
before.
6-7 were before Dutch. Dutch is only the last couple of years. Really mainstream, innit?
Millions is the front runner right now.
Millions is certain,
and obviously Digger D. I think they're the top two at the minute.
Serious, mate. They are
sick. But do you think it is one about drill music? Yeah. Do you feel that the whole conversation about drill music influencing
like
crime on the street?
That is exactly what I was about to ask you.
What are your opinions on that?
I think it is. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you look at kids like 12, 13 now, they're like they are about fucking stabbing people and stuff like that. Whereas when I was fucking 12, 13. You couldn't even tie my shoelaces.
Mate, still got Velcros on now, haven't you?
That's peg that, you know.
Oh, dude, I think drill music. Yeah, I think it's more for initially. I think drill is more London, and I think it does constitute a knife crime and stuff. But if you look at it like that, yeah, like grime originally in the first place, there's always been knife crime, right? There's always been knife crime, yes.
I'm going to say the exact same thing.
There's always been knife crime, right?
Always.
Grime was like the main thing initially at the start, and they even talked about it, and now it's just progressed, and it's obviously gotten more now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there's more knife crime and shit.
And is the more knife crime, is it just being documented more? What is it?
I don't know. I feel like nowadays, though, like if you look round G Cross, man, do you know what I mean? Like, if you look round it, all the young lads are just like fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Muppets.
Yeah,
sorry, G-Cross kids.
But it's all. I think it's definitely influenced it.
Yeah.
If you think about grime back in like when we were listening to it, like when we was younger, the lyrics are no way near the same as like drill now.
It's spotlighted, isn't it?
I mean,
like,
100%.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
and I think the following's a lot bigger now.
Like that social media fear, that right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
there was a bad knife problem back then, though.
Yeah,
that's what
when like Wiley was introducing
it.
There was like a bad knife problem.
Yeah, 100%.
Mate, Dizzy Rascal got stabbed in Iron Apple when he was like 17, mate.
There's always been.
I just feel like it's getting younger and younger now.
It comes in waves, like it used to be massive, then died off, and then obviously now.
Mate, there used to be a fucking thing like 10 years ago of people getting shot all the time in Manchester. Like, it was called Manchester was called Gunchester.
Yeah.
Like people were getting shot all the time. That's obviously died out. But in fucking 10 years' time, another place will be people will be getting shot.
People will be getting lightsabers.
What Drake's going to be like in 10 years, and what are we going to be like?
I'll be skin fade.
I said this year.
I'll be 50 years old, skinned.
I'm never not going to skin fade me.
Pugh's going to be on his 5th.
He'll be done out here, punk. 10 years, not 2.
I think what everyone's now, can't
Oh yeah,
he's not coming on.
Sorry, that's why.
It's a safe space.
I think that's a good conversation to have. You know, with like
bang you out.
Shag's gonna start fucking throwing hands, isn't it?
No, but I think that's a good conversation to be had, right? Because with like the taboo, of like hair transplants and stuff. Like, I don't think that that's something that people should be embarrassed about.
Nah, definitely not.
I don't think it is.
Not.
Like, if you can do it, like, being able to go abroad or do it here and to be able to do that pay for it. That's like crazy.
Think about it, yeah. If any of us went bald,
I'd be doing it straight
and they
away.
said you can go, just go Turkey. Let's say you saved a couple grand or something. I don't know how much it would cost.
Is it like, I don't know.
I don't know how much it
How
costs.
much is
but
it?
if they said to
4 or 5 grand, I
you,
think.
get suited up, go fucking Turkey. You have a bit of a scalpy head for maybe a couple of months, but then you got your hair back.
I think it takes
fucking take my money.
I think it
You know
takes,
what I mean?
it takes 12 months to,
You'd have,
12 months
Yeah.
to get it fully gone.
so for it to be back to like a full head of hair.
But like, not even it doesn't even have to be head of hair, innit?
Yeah,
Just
but
you can
I-
get a beard transplant. See what's he called? Forex trader guy.
Kazan.
Kaz.
that's Reese's boy, that.
Is it?
He went nice.
He's got like he's got like a proper A1 beard, hasn't he? Like out
He
here.
went to my school then.
Did he?
So it's your boy then.
Now
He's my boy.
I probably dropped out of school in year 9 because you had IBS.
Fucking hell, you got lots of chats.
He's not coming on again, Getting fucked up.
Nah, but back to
Anyway,
like,
back to the point.
yeah, back to like the cosmetic surgery.
I think the taboo around it. Yeah, it shouldn't be a taboo. Like it should be. I don't think people should.
Bro, if you go bald, you're
I'm not
100%
gonna lie.
entitled to
If I had
get
the
your
I'm
hair
getting the flight to Turkey.
If I had the
straight away.
if I had the cash, get 100%.
Get a fucking hair transplant and
Yeah.
plan of me, not even asked.
What do you think
know what it
about
is?
like obviously girls and that doing like getting all the cosmetic surgery and stuff
I mean,
like that? What was you smiling at? What do you think about girls getting hair?
I mean, I don't know about girl. We touched on
Yeah,
cosmetics.
we
innit?
spoke
Not
about this
long
briefly
ago.
before, but
About bum lifts and that. But
Nah, but
hair.
like just like your obviously not hair, but like. But you just like your usual stuff. So like your boob job, your teeth, all
That's
stuff
it.
like
I mean,
that.
I'm a guy for natural.
I like natural. If you've got the dough and you,
I like myself some
Fucking hell.
I like myself
Don't
some
hold
natural
back him,
titties.
doesn't it? And I like natural tits.
hey, if you've got the dough and you're insecure about it, you do.
Therefore,
you
I
do.
think I'm the same.
You go get some new.
Yeah.
A lot of like the older generation are against it.
Yeah.
Like my mum hates stuff like that. It's just like,
Yeah.
whose ass?
Or if you've got
Do
the
you know
dough,
what I mean?
yeah. If you're a bird and, like I say, you're insecure about something, or if you're a geezer, yeah, and you're insecure about your fucking head or something, I don't know. Sort it out. If you've got the
Go
money,
get
you
that
should
shit.
sort it out. Do it. You know what I mean?
Go get that
Who
shit.
cares? If that makes you feel better, just like getting your hair transplant. If that
Yeah.
makes you feel better, go for it.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. That's a fact, mate.
Wayne Rooney fucked it a bit though, didn't he?
Nah.
Well, he had his hair transplant while he still had hair.
Yeah, I
So
know.
he paid like 20 grand for it to get redone.
Yeah,
Lost
he's
it.
got silly
Lost
dough.
it. Yeah,
like,
he's
you know
not
what I
even
mean?
asked. He's not even asked.
He'd probably just buy bare wigs and just slap them on all his life like that's.
Mate, have you seen them things online, yeah, where you can fucking get a air glue to your head? Seen it, like
Yeah,
them like
barbers
them
and
homeless
that.
people get their head shit.
Yeah, it's mad,
They want
that.
some like wave onto the top of their head. It looks fresh. And you get one.
Completely changes them, doesn't it? I've seen those vids on Insta.
I love their videos, me, when they pick an homeless guy off the street and like give him a fresh trim and that, like boxed off.
You know what, yeah?
And he goes back out and then sits on the
Do
street.
you not think it would be a good episode yet to get an
Just
homeless
throws it back out. Back in, like,
Remember me?
Do you not think it would be a good episode to get an homeless person on Boxed Up?
No, I mean,
fucking hell.
Get on this person in here.
He'll probably want to kip it.
No, I don't want to. I said no.
We're never in it.
I don't want to be a dick.
Come on, for a shower.
I don't want to be a dick, yeah, but no, not really. I mean, if
I
like
don't know, that's a bit of a fucking...
that's a bit of a risk, that, innit?
You know what though? I've interviewed a homeless person.
Have you?
Fuck off.
When
Well done, bro. Well done, bro.
It's called Toast. Nah, I have actually interviewed a homeless person.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was actually fucking really, it was really good.
Was it insightful?
Yeah, it was nice to actually speak to someone obviously who you don't really speak to.
Well, yeah. I think
Obviously, usually, most of the time, people just ignore them, don't
Do you
they?
give change to homeless
I always
people?
give change. If I've got change on me, I will always give it to
I'd
them.
prefer to give a homeless person
Nah, you
some
buy them
food.
something,
Yeah.
I'd prefer to give them a butty or something like that. I've done it
Fuck
before.
that. I wouldn't, but I won't go. Not to sound like a dickhead, but I won't go to the effort. If a scene's just going past it, I won't be like, oh shit, let me just run in Greg's and get him a fucking sausage.
no,
roll.
no, nothing
Do
like
you know what
that.
I mean? If I see him pass it, I'm
It's
like,
right.
oh yeah, mate, I've got 150 on me. Bang, that's you.
Therefore, what are they spending it on?
Yeah, I
You
know that,
But you
but-
still, I do the same.
There's a guy who sits outside Asda, yeah, in Ashton.
They're moving out of town, aren't they? I've realised.
Bro, he sits outside.
It's few.
He sits outside Asda Ashton, yeah, and he asks for change, and he's got a credit card, and he goes in and buys shit. On his
Mate,
credit
I
card.
swear down, right, I watched a podcast, right, fucking Logan Paul's podcast, right, and his mate Mike, right, he basically said that in California there's a guy who's a full-time homeless man.
Yeah.
He does it for his job.
Yeah,
So people do it for the jobs.
Apparently there's one in London and that. There's a few in London.
Yeah,
as
there
well,
will
where
be.
in, like, you know, like in the rich parts of it.
Yeah, 100%. There will be. They'll
Because
get dough there.
they just give you.
You get
like,
dough begging.
Literally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I swear it works out like £8 an hour, you know.
Actually, now sign me up.
Contract. I'll just be homeless for the day.
I swear it works out on average at about £8 an hour.
Exactly. But it's better than minimum wage. Why won't you do it?
Is that not? I thought the minimum wage is £8.50.
Is it full?
No,
Is it
no,
not?
depends how old you are.
Is
Yeah,
it-
Is it?
Yeah,
What is-
Right, so if it's a teenage homeless person, it's better than minimum wage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let's be serious.
If
You get like
if you're 16, I swear it's like £4.70 or
Yeah.
something.
I was on a fiver on a temporary job and it was absolute slave.
I thought you were going to say I was on a 5 when I was hustling. Like, I was on streetcar.
You gotta do the Saturday jobs though. They're important, I think. Saturday jobs.
Yeah. A few of us have done Mackies and that.
What's the worst job you've
I
ever
won't
had?
even last a day, mate.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
I've not really had many
There's only
jobs.
had two.
I had 2 jobs.
I
Said at the Tesco.
I had to make my mum a brew one.
I've only had 2 jobs. I was a labourer for like a week and I got sacked because they didn't need me anymore.
Yeah. His work ethic's 10.
Yeah, no.
I've had a better job, mate.
Have you? You're a slut, you are.
Yeah, it's a gigolo,
I don't lie. You're a slag.
You know what?
You're a slag.
You're a slag.
Alright, kiss then now. Sorry, a bit
Go on,
deep.
what's the worst job? What's the worst job you've had?
Probably. The worst work I've done is bar work, so work in the pub. That's shit.
Where was you? Oh no, we're not naming and shaming.
I'd rather not.
Just keep it.
I mean, I've done lots of retail. I worked at, I worked at a bank, right, in the clothes shop bank, right.
Yeah.
I worked at the one in the Arndale, right.
Was this when you had your massive boss?
Yeah, this is when he was Frankie Cocosa.
I was Frankie
Listening to
Cocosa.
1975.
When I was Frankie Cocosa, right, and so I worked there, right, and then I got a job offer at American Apparel on Market Street.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, oh yeah, American Apparel was bad, like compared to fucking bank.
Compared to bang, yeah.
More money. I thought, right, yeah, buzzing. So goes down there, started my job there.
Is it still going, American?
Nah,
Apparel?
shut down. Let me finish the
Oh,
story,
sorry.
right? Fucking a week.
We'll get to that.
A week into my life at American Apparel, they go, oh yeah, Jack. Hates to let you know, but we've gone into administration. We're shutting down. We're shutting down next week.
That's when he started busking on the street.
That's how he knows the homeless race.
yeah, surely. So then I was like, oh, you're fucking joking. So I left American Apparel, yeah. The next day, went back into the Arndale, went to bank and went, oh, American Apparel's gone into administration, could I have my old job back? And they were like, yeah, fuck it, you can have your job
Give
back.
me it back?
Give me my job back, yeah. Give me like 4 shifts and then like phased me out with the fucking thing. So like the next week I had 2 shifts, the next week I had 1 shift and then they just never belled me again after that.
Was you fuming though?
Yeah, good.
I can tell.
Why? What are yours? Come on.
Man, I've only had 2 jobs as well. The worst job I'd probably have would work at Frankie and Benny's behind the bar. But even that was a fucking piss take. I was joke that. I had a fucking joke time.
Yeah, mate.
You make good friends. You make good friends for life there. You know what I mean? I've got friends that will take it fucking grave with me. Do you know what I
You
mean?
still chat to them now?
Nah.
Bet they all watch the pod though.
I hope some of them do. If you do and you worked at Frankie Benny's and you watch this, yeah, just DM me.
I know some. I know.
You're an elderly man.
Text him, lad.
I know some of the man them from Zara watch the pod.
What was he called at Zara? The geezer, what's he called?
Well, there's a few geezers at Zara. Big up Zara in Manchester.
He's got like his name is like
DM,
that's it.
Big up DM, yeah, legend. You're probably not watching, yeah, but fucking big respect to
Big
DM.
up the direct
Drill
message.
artist, that.
He's French, yeah. He's French. He's French, right? And the guy's a fucking G, mate. He's a fucking gangster, isn't he?
DMG.
Yeah,
I
I
love Zara. I was sick, though that, yeah. Say I was 17, yeah, I was on absolute till at Zara.
Yeah.
Fucking well good money.
You and George, that was your pride and joy, that
Yeah,
was.
me and
to
George,
be fair,
yeah.
bro, you love Zara.
Yeah, Zara was fucking mint. I love that job.
Yeah, but to be fair, if we took a trip down to town and pop in Zara, you want to buy bare shit, don't you? Because it's cheap and it's like fucking, it's nice.
It's not as good
shit,
anymore.
innit? No,
It's not as good
to be
anymore.
fair, I can't remember the last time I went in Zara.
Nah, neither.
I mean, we've been in
Well, I
London
mean,
for years.
I've been short.
Oh, yeah, not a chance, have I? So.
Yeah, I used to work at Tesco, didn't I? It was alright. But then, like, when you had to do the twilight shifts on your own for 8.5
Twilight
hours.
shit.
What should you watch? Sit there and watch the film.
Turn into a wolf.
Half the team of vampires, half the team of wolves.
Fucking hell, you just ganging up on me. Don't pick on camera, is it? You know.
You wears an Edward Cullen master work, doesn't he? And all that. Do you know what I mean?
Right, go on. Talk me through the Twilight
Yeah,
shit.
so you start at 4.
In the morning.
Half
No.
past 5. Yeah, start to come out the back. And then eventually turns into a
Twilight
fucking
again.
wolf.
Start fucking galloping down the street.
Going down aisles like that. Right,
Weirdly enough, I did used to work the dog food aisle.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, carry on.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it was 4 till 12:30 at night, 8.5 hour shifts. You'd work on your own for the full 8.5 hours. I used to go nuts. Used to talk to myself. Honestly. Good manager walking through that. You're right, Cameron. Yeah. Speaking to him over there. No one there.
You're like,
It's that cardboard cart with the cock in the door, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's a good lad, Archie. What you on about? Yeah, nah. They used to drive me insane, them ones. Like, bad.
nah, fuck it though. But you God, you're a DJ now.
Yeah, well, sort of a DJ.
So yeah,
In my
fuck
own
me.
head. In my own head.
Yeah, my son's gay. My son's bisexual. He's a DJ.
That's bisexual.
Oh, the other guy's seen that film.
I watched that yesterday, actually.
What was it? My son's a DJ. He's bisexual.
Bisexual. What's it? He wants to explore his bisexuality. So he's going to become a DJ.
But anyway, bro, talk to us about this, yeah? So where did the dream for wanting to become a DJ come from?
Well, that's actually a good question, that. So it started off, my mum, fucking what a legend, shout out my mum.
Shout out Cam's mum. She's an
Yeah.
absolute
Big up Cam's
Absolute diamond.
absolute saint.
All the mums out
Yeah,
there.
so it was actually my 18th birthday.
Okay.
And you know, obviously, Camfest.
Camfest.
My mum.
Tell the people about Camfest.
We should,
Oh, yeah.
we should have
Tell
it.
the
We
people
should have
about
a
I don't know
segment
which
on
camera. Is that
Camfest.
our camera there?
Which one's
Is that
ours?
The one
that
that's there, yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit unprofessional.
No, no rules on this show, bro.
Yeah, so Camfest is pretty much like a little festival I run for a day for my birthday.
So all the attention's on Cam for one. You know?
Literally, I get all the attention. It's all about me.
Mate, Camfest, yeah.
Goes
It
off.
goes
movie.
off. It goes off.
It is a
I'm not
movie.
even gonna lie. I don't want to fucking blow my own trumpet,
Well,
but I am.
No,
When the lockdown kind of got announced thing and then you sent the invites out, I was like,
Yeah.
fucking, just like, you know what I mean? I was like, boss this, can't wait.
If you're from Tameside, where we live, yeah, Greater Manchester, yeah, you know about fucking Camfest. That's all
Well,
I'm gonna say.
when we get to Camfest, yeah, we should do a little episode on Camfest, like while we're there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, what we'll do is
We'll just sit on stage.
What we'll do is
Everyone's
While
like,
I'm wearing music.
yeah,
yeah,
Twilight shit.
You know what's a fucking sick idea, yeah? Have you got any, I don't know if you're allowed to announce this, but have you got any DJs playing, like?
I've not started it yet.
We should give them access to the socials and let them run a fucking,
Yeah, that's a
give
good
them access
shout.
to the story for the night.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
That's
yeah.
what all like
That
all,
shout.
a lot do that, like all the record labels and stuff
We
like
should
that.
do that.
When there's a DJ event, they'll have the
Yeah,
stories
we
like
should do
that.
that.
We should do that.
Yeah,
defo,
we should
alright,
do that.
alright.
So obviously I've put the event out now just so I can get the feelers out
Yeah.
there, and then when like the months to come, I'll be like releasing more.
Yeah,
But-
say that. Well, it's invite only as well, so if you're not invited, you
Yeah,
can
innit?
come
So
in.
if you're not invited, you can fuck
You're
on.
not coming.
So obviously, being a,
Peg's
Have you not had it?
Peg's not been invited.
Every year now.
Comes on the show, outs him like.
Come on, show, slags him off, invite him off
and invite to the festival.
Meg, I will invite. I swear I invite.
He's got guest list now, Peg.
Yeah, you have.
He's on the door.
Backstage.
You got a set
Sorry, love,
time.
you're not
now.
coming in tonight. Nah, sorry, I will actually fucking I'll send you. It didn't break my heart, that Peg, sorry.
You know what? Cool. You know what?
Anyway,
Cool.
obviously, yeah. Obviously, being a DJ obviously requires more than just being able to stand in front of 2 decks or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me. How did you learn? How long's the process been? Like, is it stressful? What's it like? The whole process of being able to do it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it is like it takes up a lot of your time, like a lot of it. Like pretty much, every single day I'm always like now making music. Like on my breaks from work, so when I've got an hour break, I'll be just doing it straight away. When I finish work, I'll be doing that straight away. And then when I come back from here, I'll do it straight away. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I taught it all myself. Like I didn't actually teach like some people can like boast how they've taught everything themselves, where I've not.
Yeah.
I paid for like tuition, like 1-to-1 for like a year and a half, 2 years. It's called Make Me a DJ, so shout out Make Me a DJ. Can we do that?
The Instagram, the Instagram's here.
You can shout out anyone you want as long as you've got like no charges against them.
Nah. What
Right, as long as it's not
Make
going to
Me
get
a
us in
DJ.
shit.
Webs, put the thing here, the Instagram here. There you go.
There you
If
go.
you want to learn how to be a DJ, I'd be like,
Yeah.
this cunt, go and look at it.
Whoa. Also, what I want to say is we don't say that word on the podcast.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that.
Right? We don't say see you next Tuesday on the podcast. Not like I'm
Gotta be a DJ and be like this plum career.
Yeah, don't be like this, buddy, idiot.
Yeah, sounds like me for being vodka. Not heard that in years. Nah,
But the beauty is though, I swear, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously these things that you've done, you can produce more than just the music that you like, you can produce everything.
right, definitely. So if it comes to it, right, if I wanted to like produce like a drill beat or like hip hop and stuff like that, you could definitely do something like that, because once you learn one part of it, it's sort of like
You've got
everything else.
You've got all the
you know what I
aspects
mean?
there, haven't you?
But yeah, so definitely like obviously going back to like my tuition and stuff, I think it's probably the best thing I've ever done, because some people who have like taught themselves, it's took them like 5 years and stuff, which is sick, don't get me wrong, like people teaching themselves is actually fucking like, it's mint.
Yeah.
Like I have like high ratings for them, but like I've been taught in like a year and a half to do what I love really, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely been worth it for me.
Definitely.
I think, but yeah, it's like, at the minute I'm just, obviously I want to become a DJ, obviously. But like the main thing for me is like I see it as a hobby more than anything at first, and then if you can turn that into something, then it's good. Obviously I like what you two do, like I really love seeing like people just grinding away all the time, and obviously you start off small, like obviously like me and like yous, but if you just fucking put the work in all the time and you believe in yourself, you know.
Bro, that's one thing that I always say, like when people ask me what's the remedy for progressing and evolving what you want to do, is literally just consistency, passion, and if you've got that, then you're onto good things.
Like saying it,
Every single time.
as long as it's hard work involved, and
Every single
if you're
time.
committed to the cause and you know what you want, then
if you got that dream in your head and you want to just do it all the time, then that's it's a good fucking recipe to start off with, really, isn't it?
Getting fucking emotional, me. Just fucking chase your dreams, man. Oh mate.
Anyways, like what have you got planned for like the year for yourself personally? Obviously it's been difficult for the last 12-18 months or so, especially for people who rely on income. Obviously you not as much, obviously, but people rely on income from live shows and all these, and obviously that's been completely
I do sort of like feel for the obviously hospitality massively with what's happened over the like year and a half or whatever it is. I do like massively feel for them, because I sort of feel like they've been left in the dark, but there's sort of been a turnaround recently saying like raves are going to start opening, obviously all the pubs and stuff, and other stuff like that sort of like getting brought back, which is good to see.
People start getting bookings and that now.
100%, and obviously these things getting released. So yeah, I think for me, really, obviously I want to get my first release out there and stuff like that. I've obviously made tunes and I've put stuff onto my Instagram and stuff like that, but I've not actually sent my music out to anyone yet, because I just want to start like build some stuff up and then get it out there. Like obviously I love it, like I can actually make tracks and stuff like that now, but I think for me for this year would be to just get my first release out there and obviously do campus and stuff like that. And if there's raves that are open, just go to a few. Do you know what I mean? And see all like my favourite DJ. And I also feel for them a lot, even though they've got fucking one of the best jobs they can ask for. All they've ever known for like fucking I don't know how many years is DJing and just doing the same thing like every week and going to the next party, and obviously goes without saying like that just getting took away from you. It's a bit of a big hit, do you know what I mean? Despite like no matter how much money you make or how much,
it's a release, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's the things that you look forward to at a weekend and stuff like that. But
trust me, that's why when things go back to normal, it's going to be carnage.
It's going to be
because
carnage.
all these events, even like little things like going to the pub, but like imagine going to events and stuff. Everything's, well, big events that everyone's going to want to go to.
Yeah.
They're going to be sold out quick. It's going to be
100%.
packed.
But
There's
everyone's
people
just
gonna
going to
be
be on. Everyone's just
reckless.
going to be on like a good vibe. And
You think so,
innit?
innit?
Oh, you think so?
Hopefully that'll be the case. Everyone's gassed to be there.
Imagine how much shite we're going to like absolute A-tunes all the time.
Oh,
Innit, you're like this now, imagine what you're doing like
Literally, all the answer to it.
hell yeah. That's the only JD for you though.
Literally. But
Yeah, mate, can't wait. And like I say, there's light at the end of the tunnel now, so fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. What about you two though? So like, what's happening with you in the future? I know obviously with your writing and stuff like that. Have you got anything planned?
I think we're just going to try and see how it goes. We've got, obviously, you are officially our first guest in it, but like next week we've got a very...
Well, guest.
Yeah, I say guest, you're just one of the boys.
Yeah,
you know?
literally. I'm not important.
I think this is something you could expect to see a lot more from us. Like when we did start this, we wanted to originally, that's why the first few episodes have been me and Will, but I think establishing it as like our brand, our thing.
We wanted to put our stamp on it, didn't we?
Yeah,
just couple with us.
And now we want to start pushing out, bring some of our friends on, people you won't know, some people you may know, like our guest next week. There's a 99.9% chance that you've heard a few of his tunes that he's been involved in. It's a very cool guest to have on. Do you know what I mean? So we're gonna keep our fingers in loads of different pies. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully just try and keep it growing. Keep it pushing.
Keep it fun as well. Obviously not for I mean for you two.
We speak our mind. We speak funny shit that we want to talk about. And it's just we just keep pushing out what we can. Like they say, it's a weekly thing for us now, and we just.
Will we be seeing any more food challenges or not?
I mean, if the viewers want to see more food challenges, Jack will be up for it. So just send them in, and he'll scran anything you want.
Not being funny yet, but you actually like the Weetabix and beans, though.
Bro, you said it was beans on toast.
Nah, toast.
No, it's toast.
Right, you agreed.
It's not that bad.
I did that.
I
thought
think
it
you
was
need to
bad.
step it up a level there.
Like ghost chilies.
That has to happen.
If you want to see us eat any mad shit, slap it in the comments or send us a DM and let us know, and I'll tell Jack about it.
What do you mean tell Jack about it?
Nah, I think you need to definitely take
PG for now. But nah, if you want any funny shit like that, let us know in it, and we might do something.
What do you mean you might?
Like, it depends. If someone says like, eat a ghost chili,
That's a good show. Why is that not a good show?
That's one thing we need to work on, though. I feel like we need to, obviously, I know it's long form content, and every single week, not everyone is going to watch to the end, but I think our goal needs to be, especially for the near future, is trying to increase the retention on our videos each week, because the retention is getting better. Like, people are staying for longer.
If you watch it, Jack will snog you at the end.
Yeah, fucking hell, don't watch it then.
Like I say, we just do our own thing in it, and we have fun when we're chatting about it now.
Yeah.
It's not serious at all. We just do our own thing, and if people like that, they like it. If they want to watch to the end, they can watch to the end.
That's what's good about like what you're doing. No, you don't want to take everything too seriously. Like when people take life too serious.
Bro, we ate beans and Weetabix last week. Do you know what I mean? Like, gang. But obviously, we just do our thing, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have fun with it. Man.
But yeah, that's the thing. But anyways, how long have we been talking for here?
Approaching an hour.
Yeah. That can be the thing. We forgot to.
Well, you just need to take me body off.
Why? What have you got on?
No wave.
Oh, I know what he's got.
He's got a surprise.
I know what he's got on. I know what it's gonna be.
I'm not in the shot here, am I?
No.
It's just this.
I know what it's gonna be.
Yes!
I was gonna bring my. I was gonna wear.
I don't even have one.
Oh, you should have worn one.
I think you should get close to the camera at least, so you can see the right.
see it?
Just stand, get your shot now.
Wearing it with pride.
Justice for Ben. Follow Ben, he's here.
And get this picture somewhere around here. You've got to get it in there. You've got to get it in.
No, big up Ben. Big up the production staff as well. They don't get enough credit.
Yeah. I also want to apologise for going for Pugh and Pugh before.
Yeah. These episodes,
and maybe Reese as well. I don't know if Reese got one.
I got off lightly.
These episodes wouldn't happen without the people behind the camera, so big up to them. And if you made it this far, comment what is your favourite
What's your favourite drink? Alcoholic drink. So mine is
well,
JD,
what's your favourite drink, or what do you want to scran on air? Come on, you need to.
Well, yeah, well, obviously,
what
if
do you
you
want
want
us
us
to
to
scran?
scran anything mad, yeah, let us know. But obviously, within reason, and Jack will try it. But honestly,
We'll both
just
try
comment. We might both try it, but.
Nah, Will cries out if it's like a fucking banana or something. Fucking.
Bro, I like bananas, me. I've got a banana, me.
But nah, right, yeah. So comment what's your favourite drink and what do you want to see us? What do you want to see us to scran? And I'm not doing a ghost pepper or a ghost chili.
Ghost chili.
Right, respect everyone.
Cool.
See you next week.
Cheers, guys.
See you later. Say bye.
See you later.
Boxed off, boom.